Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel Key Art and Design for NIFT, NID and USET. This is the part 6 of our series Current Affair. As you know, this is a series in which we discuss 10 important questions of current affairs every week. In case you have missed our last 5 episodes, you will get all the link in the description or at the end screen. So let's begin this 6th episode. Question number 1. Who is appointed as the chairman of the Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs (CBIC)? And your options are A. Vivek Johri, B. Alagnanda Dayal, C. Ashutosh Jindal, D. Puneet Agarwal. So let's check the answer, and your answer is A. Vivek Johri. Senior Indian Revenue Senior Officer Sri Vivek Johri has been appointed as the chairman of the Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs (CBIC) by the Personnel Ministry. Sri Vivek Johri is a 1985 batch Indian Revenue Service Custom and Indirect Taxes officer who is presently a member of CBIC. Question number 2. As per a recent data from Fisheries Ministry, 41% of the coastline of which state is subject to erosion from 1990 to 2018? And your options are A. Gujarat, B. Kerala, C. Maharashtra, D. Tamil Nadu. And the answer is B. Kerala. Satellite data from 1990 to 2018 has revealed that 41% of the coastline of Kerala is subject to varying degrees of erosion. Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying Parashottam Rupala told the data to the Lok Sabha. The National Shoreline Change Assessment Mapping for Indian Coast carried out by the National Centre of Coastal Research NCCR using 20 years of satellite data. Question number 3. Skill Development Ministry launched a pilot project to revive traditional Namada craft in which state UT? And your options are A. Arunachal Pradesh, B. Jammu and Kashmir, C. Sikkim, D. West Bengal. And your answer is B. Jammu and Kashmir. Development Ministry launched a pilot project to revive traditional Namada craft in Jammu and Kashmir. The project has been launched under Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana PMKVY 3.0. The project aims to increase the carpet export from 600 crore to 6,000 crore and will benefit 2,250 people of 30 Namada clusters from 6 districts of Kashmir. Question number 4. Gender Equality Pact seen sometimes in the news is associated with which institution? And your options are A. UNICEF, B. UNESCO, C. WTO, D. IMF. And your answer is WTO. The Joint Declaration of the Advancement of Gender Equality and Women's Economic Empowerment within Trade is otherwise called a Gender Equality Pact. United States will join the World Trade Organization WTO Gender Equality Pact at the organization's ongoing ministerial meeting in Switzerland. Question number 5. When is the International Day of Persons with Disabilities IDPD observed every year? And your options are A. December 1st, B. December 2nd, C. December 3rd, D. December 5th. And your answer is C. December 3rd. Every year, the International Day of Persons with Disabilities IDPD is marked on December 3rd. The theme of this year is leadership and participation of persons with disabilities towards an inclusive, accessible, and sustainable post-COVID-19 world. The day is observed to promote the right and well-being of people with disabilities at every level of society and development. Question number 6. Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons is headquartered at, and your options are A. The Netherlands, B. India, C. USA, D. Austria. And your answer is A. The Netherlands. The Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons (OPCW) is an intergovernmental organization and implements the Chemical Weapons Convention 1997. It is headquartered at The Hague, Netherlands. Recently, prohibition of chemical weapons as tools for law enforcement has received the approval of OPCW based on 85-10 voting. Question number 7. When is the International Day for the Abolition of Slavery observed every year by UN? And your options are A. 2nd December, B. 5th December, C. 12th December, D. 22nd December. And your answer is A. 2nd December. The United Nations has adopted 2nd December as the International Day for Abolition of Slavery. It was on this date the UNGA passed a resolution in 1949 against slavery. As per International Labour Organization, more than 40 million people across the globe are victims of modern slavery, which includes forced labor, debt bondage, forced marriage, and human trafficking. Question number 8. In which year the UN celebrated International Day of Banks for the first time? And your options are A. 2000, B. 2010, C. 2020, D. 2021. And your answer is C. 2020. United Nations General Assembly declared December 4th as International Day of Bank, and it was celebrated for the first time in 2020. The day was celebrated to recognize the importance of multilateral and international development banks in financing sustainable development. Also recognizes the vital role of banking systems in contributing to the improvement of standard of living. Question number 9. What is the target year of completion of third phase of Prime Minister Garam Sadak Yojana? And your options are A. 2024, B. 2025, C. 2027, D. 2030. And your answer is 2025. Union Rural Development Minister Giriraj Singh announced that the third phase of Prime Minister Garam Sadak Yojana will be completed by the year 2025. The scheme would focus on providing easy access to markets, hospitals, and schools. The first phase of the central scheme focused on connectivity, and the next phase of upgradation of rural roads. Question number 10. HE2, which was seen in the news recently, is an operation undertaken by which institution? And your options are A. Central Bureau of Investigation, B. Interpol, C. Federal Bureau of Investigation, D. International Monetary Fund. And your answer is B. Interpol. Under a recent operation undertaken by the Interpol, codenamed HE2, enforcement agency in more than 20 countries have arrested over 1,000 individuals and seized about $27 million of illicit funds. The program is a part of a crackdown on cyber-enabled financial crime. India also participated in the global operation. The exercise targeted specific type of online fraud such as romance scams, investment fraud, and money laundering linked to illegal online gambling. So thank you everyone. This is it for the part 6. We will see you next week, same day, same time.